I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably one of the most talked about kisses ever. Michael Sam celebrates with his boyfriend after finding out that he's been drafted by the St. Louis Rams.
Now, there were a lot of people who thought this was a nice moment. Others, not so much.
Former Super Bowl champion Derek Ward tweeted, quote, "I'm sorry, but that Michael Sam is no bueno for doing that on national TV. Man, you got little kids looking at the draft. I can't believe ESPN even allowed that to happen."
And current player, Miami Dolphins safety Don Jones, expressed his disapproval, tweeting, "Horrible" and "OMG" after that kiss was aired. He has since deleted those comments, and what's more, the Dolphins move fast. Really fast. They ordered Jones to pay a fine. They've barred him from team activities until he completes sensitivity training. And Jones already, this is like less than 24 hours after, he has apologized fairly profusely, saying his comments were inappropriate and wishing Sam all the best in his NFL career.
Here's a question. Should the NFL be stepping up to make sure players are supportive and not publicly hostile to this new reality of an openly gay player in their league?
Our commentator, LZ Granderson, joins us now from Chicago. And LZ, I got to say, I was surprised by the speed with which this all took place.
Yeah, it happened and it was...
He tweets it, they penalize him, he apologizes, boom, it's over.
Well, you know, I would like to think that the Miami Dolphins has the infrastructure now to address these sort of concerns within their franchise, given what happened recently with Jonathan Martin and Richie Incognito. I know some people are wondering if the NFL came down heavy on the franchise to act quickly. I would like to think that the franchise itself has learned from its past and doesn't want that kind of image anymore.
Do you think they have? That's the question. You know, we're always all cynical. Do you think what we've seen in the past, the Richie Incognito situation, do you think that they have now realized this is a different world order? Do you think this is going to stick? Do you think the other players are getting it?
Well, you know, I think it's a combination of things. We can't spend too much time talking about what a second-year, seventh-round pick tweeted. You know, we have to look at the NFL as a whole. And as a whole, I think there are certainly some players who are not going to tweet or do anything in the public that's going to look negative in regards to Michael Sam. They might be fearful for fines, might be fearful for their jobs. This is true. I'm not going to pretend like that's not present. But what's also true is that there are a lot of men in the NFL who just don't give a damn. They just don't. And the truth of the matter is they've already played with openly gay players. They just aren't open to the public, but they're open on their team. I know this personally. And we also know for a fact that it's been a long history, way back since Vince Lombardi, where players have been gay, coaches and other players have known, and that they have dealt with it. So, I think by and large, what you're seeing is just an NFL that has decided to go, you know what, we've already known this, it's out, let's just move on.
Hey, LZ, there are people saying out there that there's a double standard, that Tim Tebow, when he came into the league, there were a lot of people, though I don't remember players, but there were a lot of people making fun of him for his overt religiosity, and they didn't get the backlash that people being critical of Michael Sam are not getting. What do you make of that?
Well, you know, I don't necessarily know if that's true or not. I know as a columnist myself, I've always defended Tim Tebow and the way that he expressed himself. And I don't think that that's true that people haven't been fined for teasing Tim Tebow, but I don't necessarily see a lot of people killing themselves because they're wrestling with being Christian. But you do see people killing themselves because they're wrestling with being gay.